Hi folks, welcome to another Qashqai video. The latest round of voting on my YouTube page on the community tab. The winner was the media guide, is what you wanted to see. So here we go, we're going to go through it today. We're going to go through all the different options you have available on your system. To point out, this is a Nissan Qashqai, a 2014 Tecna model. This stereo itself is known as the Connect 2 system. There is a Connect 1, Connect 2 and a Connect 3. The Connect 2 is in the 2014 to 2017, I think it is, Qashqai. It was also found in the X-Trail and the Duke as well. So just check that this does work with your system. You may have a different style setup. So we're going to work our way around the buttons. We're going to start with radio because it's at the top. On your system, you've got three different bands for the radio. You have DAB, the digital radio, you have FM, and you have AM. So each one of those has got presets that you can set on there. As you can see, DAB is a little bit more in depth. So we'll go through that one first. Just so you know, I'm not able to put any audio on just for copyright reasons, so the volume's muted at the moment. You'll be able to see what the radio would be playing. As you can see here, it will be playing some 41 on Radio X, but you won't be able to hear it, I'm afraid. So yeah, so my presets I've got over here. You've got your 6, and then you actually can have up to 12 by tabbing this page here, up to 12 presets. So I've got Radio X, Capital, BBC Nottingham, Radio 1, 5 Live, Planet Rock, and then whatever's on here. I don't even know, to be honest. Don't really use these much, but that's the different pages you've got. Next to that, you've got your DAB list. Now if you want to change any of these presets to your own favourite, you need to go to the DAB list, and that will show you all of the stations that your system is picking up at the moment. Now this will obviously change depending on where you are. So for example, I very much doubt if you're down in London, for example, you will have access to radios such as BBC Lincolnshire, Nottinghamshire, etc., and Leicester, for example. So if I wanted to change one of my presets, I would find the station that I want. So I'll tell you what, I haven't got Radio 2 as one of my presets. We'll tap on Radio 2, so that's now playing. But you can see it doesn't say DAB and which preset it is, and none of the preset buttons are lit. So I want to save this, for example, to preset number 11. So what we'll do, go on to number 11, onto the next page. Number 11, I will hold it. If you heard that beep, and it's now gone orange, preset 11. So Radio 2 is now preset 11. So you do the same for all the ones that you want. Just long press the button until you hear that little high-pitched beep. Going on to the next button available is TA. Now that's traffic announcements. So if you're, for example, listening to a radio station that doesn't have traffic announcements, such as, I don't know, I don't think Capital does, I'm not sure. Well, Radio 1 doesn't, does it? BBC Radio 1. If you wanted to have traffic announcements, you would turn that on, and the little TA appears at the top. And then when traffic announcements are being sent out, I know that BBC Radio 2 does, for example, your stereo will tune into BBC Radio 2 for the duration of those traffic announcements, and then it will go back to whatever you were on before. That setting is on all of the different media inputs, so you can have it on if you're listening to an iPod or if you listen to a CD, but I'll show you that as we go through it. I personally don't have them on, so mine sits like that. Now you see this one here, a lot of people ask about this as extra chan. Not many radio stations use that function, but one that I know does is BBC Radio 5 Live. If I go on 5 Live, you see it comes on. Now BBC Radio 5 Live they also have a station or a service called BBC Radio 5 Live Sports Extra, I believe it is. So sometimes when, for example, football is on alongside, I don't know, a cricket match, they will have cricket on this extra channel. So what you need to do, if that becomes available, you can tap on it and it will show you what the other channel available is. So in this case it's BBC Radio 5 Live Sports Extra. What you do is tap on it and it will start playing. The reason that's there is because BBC Radio 5 Live Sports Extra isn't in the listing. It's not a channel you can directly tune into. You do need to tune into BBC Radio 5 Live first. Extra channel, Sports Extra. Personally, I haven't found any other channels that have an extra channel, if that makes sense. Any other stations that have an extra channel. So let me know if there are ones that I don't know about. Not that it's too mega, but there we go. Pardon me. So that is your DAB setup. The rest are very similar in the way they work. So if we move on to FM, I don't actually use FM because luckily DAB signal around here in Nottingham is actually very good. But it's exactly the same. Again, If you wanted to, oh there you go, I think we've got some saved actually. So radio 1, if you wanted to move radio 1 to position 6, just hold 6, there's the beep, and radio 1 is now probably on 1 and 6. Yes, it is 1 and 6. That's that. The FM list you can use a bit like the DAB thing. It will search for what it can pick up. Obviously there's nowhere near as many as the DAB. We've only got pretty much 1 page here, if that. Yeah, 2 pages. So that's similar to DAB, but it won't pick up nearly as many as DAB. TA, again, traffic announcements. I said about that before, so I won't explain it again. And tune, if you wanted to manually tune, like you need precisely a certain frequency, you can use this to find it, and when it does find a station, it will actually say what it's found. If you hold it, no, I thought holding it was the way of making it to auto search, but it won't. So yeah, there's no way of auto searching, just use your FM list. It kind of already has auto searched for you, and it does have the 7 to 12 settings too. And finally then, you've got your medium wave. Not much you can find on medium wave nowadays, but I do know that 5 Live is still on there, which is why mine's on 909. Again, channels, if you want to move them around, just long press where you want it to go. TA, I've already mentioned it, and tune, just as you've seen before, you can specifically find that frequency you're after. Once you've found it, press OK. There we go. So that's radio. Not much else really to say about that one. So we'll move on to CD next. Check I'm still muted. Don't know if this is the wife's CD that's in at the moment. I don't even listen to CDs myself. So if you've got what's known as an enhanced CD, you will actually get the details of what's playing here. That's all down to what's on the CD. If you've got a CD that you've copied yourself, you can put the track names, what's called ID3 tags on it. You know, call your song XYZ, and it will come up on the screen XYZ, and you can put in the artist, etc., etc. The buttons you've got available are mix, which is just Nissan's way of saying shuffle. So if you had that on, the next track will be random, so it goes from track 10 to track 12 to track 6 to track 3, so on. Turn it off by pressing it again. Repeat, it's pretty self-explanatory. It will repeat once it's played through, so when it gets to the last track it will start again, I believe. TA, I'm not saying it again, it's up there. And then browse. This again, if these were named, you'd be able to find these tracks. So if you wanted to listen to track 11, you could tap on it, it will go to it. That's it for CDs. Like I say, you can copy your own and put all the details in it, and it will show them on there. And also some of the newer CDs have already got that. I know some of my other CDs that we've played before, it does actually show what's playing. So that's that. Now onto the more in-depth one, and that's the auxiliary input. So for aux, you've got 3 inputs you can use. You have your Bluetooth audio, so that will play whatever is playing on your phone. It will play to it. Now I can't show you that unfortunately because I use my phone to record and I don't have a spare or anything like that. But it is literally whatever you've got playing out of your phone. So you could be watching YouTube, you could be watching Netflix, you could be on Spotify if you've got a music streaming service like that, and it will play onto that and it will show you what's playing. Yes, sorry I can't show you an actual example of that, but basically if you've connected your phone to your stereo via Bluetooth and you press play on your phone and you've got it on this, it will play whatever's on your phone. TA is there. Connect is a quick way of connecting to your phone. So by pressing that, it will take you to your phone setup, and obviously from here you can pair new device, select paired device, delete a paired device, or turn your Bluetooth on and off. I'll probably do a more in-depth look at all of these sort of systems, maybe the hands-free phone calling and stuff in another video, so I'm not going to go too in-depth into that one. The next auxiliary input that you've got is the aux system cable. Now for that you need a 3.5mm audio jack. If I just move the camera, and that goes, what a messy thing it is in there, that goes into that auxiliary input. Is that a dead moth? Jesus. Yes, so you've got your auxiliary input there and you've got your USB input there. So that also correlates to the next part. So with aux, again, a bit similar to Bluetooth, whatever you've got playing out of your device, whether it's a phone or an MP3 player, it will play through the system. It also says on the screen what else you can connect to it. So you'll be glad to know, just for you guys in this video, I have managed to dig out my old iPod Classic. I mean, this is, what was this? It got a date on the back? No, 2005. There we go. God, this thing's, wow, that is 16 years old. Wow. I mean, you can tell because the screen is, yeah, it's seen better days. So yeah, we'll move on to that next. So auxiliary input, you just need a 3.5mm audio cable, which you can plug into a 3.5mm headphone slot on your device, and that's how you play that. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug this iPod into the USB input that I just showed you in the glove box of the armrest box. So as I plug it in, the iPod itself should wake up. They got a USB device detected, please wait, and the iPod now just says OK to disconnect. So I'll put that out of the way. Now what happens now, I'll explain all this to you. We have iPod, it says index 1% because each time you connect your iPod to it, it needs to index it, i.e. it needs to scan what is on it so it can quickly take you to whatever you want to listen to. So from there, let's give it a few seconds, it should start playing automatically, probably the first song that's on there, alphabetically. But we'll just go through while we wait for it to do that. Mix, again, is shuffle, repeat, does just that. TA is traffic announcements, and menu is pretty much the same menu as you get on your iPod. It's quite nice. So you have your playlist, your artists, your albums, your songs, your genres, your composers, and any audiobooks and podcasts you've got. And it does list it just the same as an iPod. So, tell you what, let's have a laugh at what I've not looked at this iPod for ages. Here we go, a bit of Aerosmith, all alphabetical. So mine has a heck of a lot of music on it. Now, if you quickly want to get through this, you can use this wheel here to turn through it, and you can also press A to Z, turn the wheel. So I want to listen to, what do I know will be on there? Probably some Whitesnake on there, bit of old rock. So let's go down to W. Once you get to there, we press enter, and it takes us to W. Whitesnake, there we go. There's Whitesnake. That's the album it was on. Top Gear anthems, crikey. And here I go again. Wouldn't we love to listen to it, but I'm afraid we can't. So when you press on that song that you want to listen to, this is the screen you're going to get. It should show me the picture there, but I don't think I have the image for this song, if I'm honest. Let me just go back to find one that I will have an image for. I will have, I'm sure I'll have a Weezer image. I'll try to keep fishing. No, not great. So there you would have the album art for the track that you're listening to. Obviously you got the song name, the artist name, and the album name underneath it. And mix is currently on. It says that because I pressed it. So that's how you see, and I can see that the iPod is still indexed and it's at 22%. This is quite a large capacity iPod. I think it was, well, for the time, I think it's 120 gigs, so it's quite a large one. I'm trying to find the track that will have the album art so you can see it, because it just seems weird to see album art on this screen. You're so used to the boring black and white. It's from Calvin Harris. Acceptable in the 80s? No. I can't remember which one we got. Maybe that's actually because it's still indexing, and as it indexes, it'll load all of these album arts. Aerosmith, Jaded, that'll be on there, I'm sure it will. It must be because it's indexing. So yeah, you would normally have on your iPod screen that image. It'll also appear on here. So that's it for iPods. There's nothing else you can really do from there. Like I said, I do like the fact that it is just the same as using your iPod. You can look for it by whatever title you want, even your playlists on there. Crikey, there we go. Look, my 25th birthday playlist. So there you go, that's going back a bit. So that's that one, that's the iPod. And the final one that I'm going to show you for your inputs is if you wanted to put music onto a USB stick. You can put them on in any way. I'm going to show you a screenshot now, and this shows the folder as well as the file. So if you've got a whole album, put it on as a folder because it will then pick it up as an album. If you've got just one song, put it on there loose. That one song that's on there is a royalty-free song, so I will be able to play it for you so you can have a look at how things work. So I'm just taking my iPod out, so it's moaning at me on the screen about auxiliary. Put the USB stick in that same USB slot, give it a second. There we go. So Can't really play that one because that's Shiny Toy Guns, a band I'm quite enjoying at the moment. But there we go. So if I go browse, folder browser. So this is how it is. Look, you see, as I've put them on there, and that screenshot you just saw, there's a Shiny Toy Guns folder and acoustic breeze.mp3, which is our royalty-free one, which I can play for you in a sec as I show you audio settings. So yeah, that's how it comes up. So you can find the artist you want, the album, and then you can find the certain track you want to listen to, and it will start playing it. Again, you can attach the image onto here if you wanted to, which I haven't done because I'm silly. And the settings at the bottom are very similar to the iPod. In fact, it's identical to the iPod. Your mix, which is shuffle, repeat, obviously. TA, traffic announcements, and the browse is similar. You can set all this up when you put the files onto the USB stick. So yeah, what we're going to do now, I'm going to put on that royalty-free music, and I'm going to show you some of the audio settings. So acoustic breeze, this is, there we go, nice and lovely. Hopefully you can still hear that over the bus going past. Oops. So that's playing, and I'm going to show you the audio settings. Turn down a little bit. So to access your audio settings, you need to go to setup and then audio. Once in there, you've got your bass, your treble, and your bass and your treble, which is the bass is how punchy the music is, the treble is the opposite of how punchy it is, if that makes sense. I have mine like that. I would recommend literally experimenting, because you know, you might have a certain genre of music you always listen to, so you know, it works in other ways. I do find if you have them both in the middle, it's very flat. The Qashqai doesn't come with the best speakers anyway, unless you've got the uprated one with the Bose sub in the boot and stuff like that. So yeah, have a play with the bass and treble until you think, yeah, that sounds good. Balance, that is if you want to have it on a set area, so that's all the way to the right side of the car, and vice versa, all the way to the left side of the car. And fade is just the same, but for front and back. So we can go but just to the rear speakers, which I found was really useful when we went on a long road trip, and my son wanted to listen to his music, but me and my wife wanted to just have a chat about stuff. We just put the music in the back, and it was great because he was loving his music. It wasn't too loud for us, we could still have a chat. So that's how that works. And obviously you can put it just in the front if maybe the kids in the back are asleep, for example. That's that one. Now going down, speed sensitive volume, that is useful. I don't know, if you're in a noisy area, maybe you've got quite a bit of road noise, as you speed up, depending on what setting you've got it on, it will increase the volume depending on what speed you're going at. Obviously 5 is the most sensitive, so it will turn it up louder quicker, all the way to 0 which does nothing, and 1 is it turns it up louder ever so slowly. I don't have that on because I don't personally like it. Going down, the last option is your auxiliary level. So if you've noticed that you've plugged in your auxiliary device, like the ones I've just shown you, and it's quite quiet, sometimes it happens, it just does, you can change this between quiet, medium and loud. Mine's set to loud because I like things loud, quite simply. That's that. So yeah, that's your audio settings. Not a huge great deal in there. I'm not sure, I'd like someone to let me know in the comments, if you do have the subwoofer in your boot of your car, the Bose system, do you have an extra setting on here for the subwoofer? I'd be intrigued to know. Now the final thing I'm going to show you to do with audio is your radio options. There's only the two. Oh no, there's that unlicensed music. There's only the two. RDS Reg is the FM will search the radio station you're listening to for any messages they're putting out. So sometimes they say, you know, the song you're currently listening to is blah 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 blah, or up next is so and so. It will show you the messages that you get on the screen. Traffic announcement, I've already shown you what that does. Just set to however you want them on, and that is it. Just to point out, in case you weren't aware, but I would have thought you would be, you've got all the controls on your steering wheel for your audio. So you've got your volume up and volume down, next track or station, and back is up here. Like I said, that does work with the DAB. So if I go onto radio, let me go back to DAB. By pressing next and previous, you can tab through your presets, which is quite useful to do. The RDS thing I was telling you about, you'll see on the screen in a second. You've already seen it at the start of this video. Is just the messages of what's currently playing. So here we go, Radio X. Now on Radio X, the Strokes of Last Night. So it's giving you the messages. So it's quite useful you're like, oh, what's this song? It tells you on there. On some other radios show who's currently on. Well, there you go, just change to that now, and that's that. So that is it for your media guide as such. You should have in your manuals for your car this thing here, which is just quite good. It's quite in depth with all the different things you're going to need to know about your system. So if you have got that and you're unsure about any of these things, have a dig through it. It's quite useful. And that is it, guys. So as usual, thank you ever so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've not subscribed to me already and you do own a Nissan Qashqai, I highly recommend subscribing and watching this playlist, the rest of this playlist, which should be a link up above me and above the screen just there. Yeah, get watching those other videos, and I do like a good natter with you, so any comments you've got, just put them below, whether it's a question or just a simple comment about something. Yeah, just go for it and I'll reply or heart it, and we can have a chat about things. So yeah, final thing is I do now have a Facebook group called the Qashqai Guy. There's a link in the description if you wanted to visit it. It's not so much a owners group. Let's turn you around so you can see me. I need a haircut though, so don't laugh. It's not so much of an owners group. It's more a sort of a fault finding thing. So if you've got questions about, the media, I can't quite get my iPod to work or something like that, join the club and just ask. And if I don't know it, someone else in the group might. I'm hoping it's going to become like that. So yeah, I really appreciate the owners clubs that I'm in. I don't want to step on their toes, because they're great communities, so why do we need another one? So I'd rather my group was more about helping you guys fix things and work things out with your Qashqai. But yeah, that's it. Thank you ever so much, and I will see you in the next video.